Well, everyone, it's time for our Halo Infinite checkup because a few things have prompted a response from 343, specifically on people's most pressing concerns about the current state of the game. And this is all basically pretty damn good stuff that we really do want to see be solved soon enough, because I think while these issues persist, it is just a little bit of a black mark on an otherwise pretty damn fantastic situation.
Yeah, and it's a particularly frustrating one because it's like the categorization of the problems is so annoying. Game, great. Meta systems, not great. But the game's great, and that's the point we'd all love to be focusing on and talking about. But as it stands, it's the actual meta stuff around it, which is obviously part of the game experience, but that's the problem. And that's like, come on, get it right.
So to look through some numbers then. Good. The numbers are all still great, basically. I mean, these are just the Steam numbers, for one example. I mean, from Benji. Today, Halo Infinite saw much higher peak concurrent players than it did over the weekend and is back over 200k players on Steam with the release of its first multiplayer event. Basically just highlighting, hey, an event came and people are back playing the game. Which, of course, is something we'll be sort of used to, the rotating playlists and stuff like that. Like, I at least remember in school, there'd be a cool new playlist would come out, and it would be like, okay, cool, time to go play some Halo. Now, there's a bit of an issue with that event, and an issue with overall progression. First, though, cheating. Cheating's actually beginning to be a bit of a problem. Thankfully, I have not experienced it at all. That said, I am only Platinum 1. Maybe this is something that happens either in the lower leagues, or maybe this is something that goes on in, like your diamonds and your onyxes, where there's more of an incentive, I suppose, to bot. But, I mean, stuff like that. That's utter bullshit, right? So aimbots have appeared pretty damn quickly. They're also extremely blatant when you actually look at them. That's going on. 343 are yet to comment on this, but obviously they're going to be anti-cheating going on. They were pretty firm about this before launch, where the principal software engineer lead Mike Romero said, when you're making a competitive game and it's on PC, you need anti-cheat. That's all there is to it. It's going to happen. Obviously, it's not perfect, and there are solutions need to be worked on, but that generally is what it's like with anti-cheat. It's always an arms race.
Yep, absolutely. Unless, obviously the best results we've seen have been with the kernel level anti-cheat from Vanguard and from Valorant. But obviously those come, at least initially, with a lot of pushback from users going, well, we don't want this. We don't want you to have access to this. So I guess it's a matter of they'll see how they fare. I imagine they have plans to implement one if they need it in future. But I imagine knowing how like Xbox in general seem to be on the ball with user expectations, I think they will just go, we will wait and see, because we know what people will respond with, so we need to make sure it's necessary first. At least that's what I imagine anyway.
Yeah, fair. So to get on to the real meat of things, though, with Halo Infinite, it is progression. Now, progression's felt a little bit better to me recently, because of the changes they made, and also me just being more used to the game, and therefore progressing through all of the challenges faster. But so that everybody understands, you only get XP for doing challenges. Now, it used to be there was no just like XP for winning a game or losing a game or playing a game. It would like purely just be the challenges. They since added in a challenge that is just if you is it win a game or is it complete?
I think it's just play a game.
Yeah, play. If you just play a game, you get 50 XP. So that always happens. That is an improvement. But overall, it has been slow enough. Problems like what happens, like right now, I've got a challenge for Oddball and I have a challenge for CTF. I am purely at the whims of the matchmaker, of that playlist. And if I get a Domination or a Slayer, I'll enjoy them because it's Halo Infinite, it's really fun, but I won't progress through those 2 weekly challenges. And that can be frustrating because those are taking up space within my list of challenges that could maybe be another challenge that I could complete. And then I remember the challenge swaps are a part of both the monetization and the premium battle pass. Which is kind of saying that they know that challenge friction is something where a solution in the form of a swap can provide value, and rather than to fix that, they want to sell that value to the customer. Obviously, that's only value because it's overcoming a sort of artificial feeling problem. I could definitely say that if I got XP based on performance and medals, number one, I'd be a higher level, but more importantly, I feel better when I do well.
Yeah, I think that's one thing that I think is kind of going to irk some people as we go forward. So I imagine a lot of the not focusing on performance for stuff is likely a way to reduce things like toxicity levels in games and stuff like that, and to reduce performance anxiety, because it is a negative experience if you go into a game and play like shit.
Yeah.
So supporting that by not rewarding you as well, meaning that you're going to feel worse for not doing well, as opposed to, hey, it's just a raw play experience. It's the kind of thing where I think they are intentionally being careful with that, but that's a very dangerous place to go overall, I think, because it just makes sense. You want to incentivize people playing well because that's what's going to be more fun ultimately. So I feel like this is a trend we're going to start seeing a lot more of, as design kind of takes a lot more of these player experiences into account.
Yeah.
Which is a shame.
Then kind of moving to another issue. So one of the things they did is, of course, there's the play one game daily challenge that just is always there. So you always get 50 XP whenever you play a game. But they also doubled the duration of the XP boost. I believe you get the XP boosts as you go up some of the free battle pass, but other than that, it's just a paid thing. Now, I just think that sucks, because you apply your XP boost and it's so easy to apply it wrong. Like, if you look at the challenges that I just said I had, what if I apply an XP boost? And let's just say it was the original design of 30 minutes, and the 2 or 3 matches I got just weren't the right game mode for my challenges. So it just seems like it's one of those things, the XP boost, where it's pretty easy to use it wrong, or to get highly divergent values from each usage of the XP boost. And I think that just it opens up an opportunity for a negative player experience that I think is absolutely not worth it. There's got to be a better way to do that.
Yeah, and it's not even like it's just based on the playlist, because I know there's one, I think it was yesterday, no, it wasn't yesterday, it was the day before. I remember noting I had a challenge to get 10 assists. I was like, okay, there's definitely agency in me getting assists, but if I'm playing purely for performance in the game and, just playing, I'm not going to be able to target assists.
Yes.
Because I'll be targeting kills, and it just so happens someone else is there. Does that mean I then have to play a different way and alter, just follow people around farming for assists? If I want to progress, which is the only way to progress in the game, then yes. So it's that kind of thing where the gameplay design of the challenges sometimes doesn't really line up with what's ideal.
I totally feel that, and it's just a bad way to design the game, because it does not incentivize objective-based team play a lot of the time. Like, as an example, if I have a go kill the enemy FC in a CTF, all right, well, I'm not playing defense now.
Yeah, let them kill.
So, just a whole bunch of things like that. Even just having to use the commando rifle. It's like, okay, but I know these are situations where I'd have better performance with the BR, but I want to use the commando rifle now because I want to complete that challenge within this particular game so that I have a new challenge appear for the next game. Because really, it's challenges completed per game played that is your major metric, so you always want to hit the breakpoint of challenges done within the game. What if I got 4 out of 5 commando rifle kills within that game? Well, now for my next game, I just need to get 1 kill. I'll get that kill pretty easily, and then so much of the rest of my time spent within that next game is just dead space because the challenge has already been completed. And the thing is, whenever you try to put in a progression system that is targeting the fucking goopy gamer brain, this is how people are going to think.
Yep.
And that's not exactly what you want. So it's really iffy reward design. Now, longer term solutions apparently are going to be a thing. Now, they did do some things that we've covered. They did actually involve resetting daily and active weekly challenges that were in progress, but to compensate for that, all players who sign in between the 23rd and 30th will get the ultimate reward for that week for free. Now, for a longer term solution, here's from Brian. Been traveling, so slow to respond, but please know the constructive feedback is being heard loud and clear. Changes will take time, and our priority this week is giving the team a much-deserved break for this holiday after a long final stretch. We all know that was a long final stretch, given that, Thank you for your understanding.
I think the final stretch must have been about 12 months for them, to be honest there. But so, that's the thing, we're like, fair enough, take your time off, but, communicate, then fix when you get back, and everyone will be happy.
Totally. And I think the worries for me are some of the, not balance issues with the progression of the pass, but some of the design issues.
Yeah.
And the clear sacrifice of enjoyable customization for microtransactions.
Yeah.
Because that cosmetics window, the tints being based on armor core, those things really do feel bad to me. They do make each armor core feel like its own little, bundle of however many $100 they want you to be able to spend. So as we go into that with cosmetics then, well, they're really expensive. That's one thing. And the Fracture Tenrai event has certainly made people think about this more because, I mean, some of it, just how it's put together is also mean in my view. So here's like the full event thing. Now you get the base armor set within the first 7 levels of the event pass. You can only do the first 7 levels. But you see that cool sword belt?
Yep.
That's from basically the end of the event pass track.
Yep, 30.
You cannot get that in this week. However, on the store, they will sell you, like a katana belt.
Yep, katana and tanto on your belt, yep.
So if you want that, you have to pay now. You cannot get it from just doing the pass. And it's just that thing where I get how free-to-play is really good for this game, but I would enjoy this all so much more, and I'd be a lot more interested in customizing my character if it was an a la carte experience or something. So, it's rough, and it makes these events just feel like a way to stock the store full of, oh yeah, well, here's your sampler. Go to the store and get the complete. Or you could wait 3 months.
Yeah, this is where I think it frustrates me overall, the general monetization design of this, because it's just too expensive to feel right. Maybe that works for people overall, but the way I'm thinking about it is free to play allows a lot more people to be onboarded, and that means that they've chosen free to play to build up more advertising for the campaign at full price or on Game Pass, but also to get people in the door. Because if you charge them $60 for the whole game, campaign and multiplayer, which would make sense, then you're massively capping how much your monetization is, because monetization wouldn't be as acceptable. So they're adding this really huge possibility of earning into it this way, but it feels too quick. Like, I'm imagining a world where you want this to be you want people to play Halo Infinite for years. Why aren't you selling cosmetics at 10% the price to make it feel a little bit more like, hey, here's a little bit of thing. Here's a cool thing for not much money. And then I think people would be a lot happier if they were spending $150 on the cosmetic and then bought a load of them over time as they played through the game, as opposed to this version where it's just, we are extremely upfront about how much this monetization is designed to screw you.
But you and I both know that that's quite idealistic, and that ultimately it is targeting whales that makes net the most money.
Yeah.
That's just what consumers have proved over the years. I think for me it's frustrating because it's like, this is Halo. It shouldn't have things that feel like this. This, I'm not going to say it should be a loss leader or anything, but almost that sentiment at least. Like, it's carrying the banner for Game Pass. It's carrying the banner for Microsoft, really.
Yeah.
So to have some of the way they've done this monetization in there, it's like it almost doesn't feel right from a big first party. The idea of this kind of microtransaction stuff for a first party Microsoft Game Studios game, it still feels a bit weird to me.
Yeah, it feels very out of place, which I imagine this is just a case of the bean counters are like,
yeah,
we know this is not ideal, but we cannot, we can piss money away for a long time, but not forever. We can't just give you Halo for free, all the development costs, and then see what happens.
Yeah.
So it's frustrating that they're kind of almost showing their hand this early.
Yes, that's a good way of putting
I think
it.
that's what it is.
There's another part of the challenges here that's an issue. So you only progress through the event pass by doing the event challenges, but those event challenges are mixed in with normal challenges. So sometimes you'll have to go and do a bunch of normal challenges to sort of unclog your challenges and hope that the new ones that are put in are event ones. But you can only do like 7 event challenges. Only 7 will appear this week. What does that mean? Well, it means you can only get to level 7. So if you want that katana and tanto belt, you either wait many more events or you just buy it in the store. And then of course the Chomage set is like 2,000 credits, is 15 quid. That's like quite a lot. Quite a lot indeed. Just the overall thing does not feel good. So I really hope that this is all included in the loud and clear feedback and that these changes do come in. I mean, do you want Halo Infinite might be throwing the worst live event I've ever seen? Like, at least for me, it's fine. The Fiesta playlist is fun to play. Yep. You have a fun time. You do get a cool bit of armor at the end, but you don't want all of those asterisks looming over it that just kind of make you think, ugh.
Yeah, I mean, one thing that I think is really interesting that kind of annoyed me when I was playing when the event launched, because I was excited for it because I didn't know any of these problems. Like, okay, sweet. It means me and the boys will just hop in, spam some Fiesta, get Katana stuff, be the weebs we are, in peace, fantastic. But then all of these issues cropped up, and then it was, okay, well, first of all, we didn't know we needed to do event challenges to get the XP. We had to figure that out as we went, which was frustrating. But then also realizing, oh, we need to stop playing the event game mode and go back to the normal game mode, which is, it's obviously experience-wise, you're like, oh, it's not a big deal. But it did mean that I was party leader, and I was broken out of the flow because I had to kind of ask people what events were going on. I had to keep track of my events every game and then swap between where I was clicking instead of just going, oh, guess we're out of that game, click play. It sort of broke that like super clean flow of, oh, 12 hours had disappeared, it's now 4 a.m. and we've all got a whole load of stuff. That just wasn't there.
Yeah, indeed. Then there are some other events coming. There's Winter Contingency, Cyber Showdown, Tactical Ops. Expect those to basically be consistently rotating, each with their own... Well, you know what? I won't assume that they'll go down the same as this event. They'll probably try to change them in light of the feedback.
I imagine so.
I think, essentially, though, get this stuff right, and even though I think Forge has been delayed a bit as well, even with those issues, get this shit right, and this game is just going to be a 100% thumbs up. Everyone's happy.
Yep, it's surprisingly close to it as it stands. It's like I said at the beginning, it's just annoying that these problems are like progression design, monetization design, as opposed to game design. Because if you strip the store out and just went, yeah, here's a game with some old school challenges, everyone would be absolutely over the moon.
Yeah, absolutely. So that's basically the situation with Halo. Enjoy your rest, team. And good
job.
Yeah, absolutely. And whenever it's time for things to come back, hopefully we'll see the fixes. If these fixes are made, if they really engage with this feedback and perhaps are willing to sacrifice a little bit of whaling, I think we could be in a situation that really does set this game up for many years of big success. Because ultimately, like, if this is just going to be a free-to-play multiplayer game, what do I want? I want more maps, I want more modes, I want more Forge, I want more of everything. They'll probably want it to have a viable business model. So I'm not saying just give us everything for free.
Of course not.
I am saying do something more reasonable.
Yep.
So hopefully they get there, and that's basically it for now. I know that even though I have these frustrations, I'm still going to be playing plenty of Halo Infinite, though.
Same.
So that's it from us. Thanks for watching. See ya.